Welcome back. Welcome back to the show.
Man, you think we're going to get flagged again?
We probably will definitely get flagged for that. We got
like we said before, if you could, anybody know how to make some beats?
Yeah, for the love of God. I mean, nobody knows a producer.
30. All we need is 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it really isn't that hard. But yeah, this song keeps getting flagged, so we're gonna have to change it. Which sucks. It's not even a good song.
Yeah, just good enough for us.
We're getting flagged over a bad song.
Yeah, sounds like it should be on like NBA Live 08.
Yeah, a couple things before we start today. We want to get to these.
First, welcome back to Below the Rim.
Yeah, welcome back to Below the Rim, the home of layups, charges, and corner threes. I'm Riley.
I'm Ryan.
And we got a good episode again. Honestly, really excited for this guest. Another great guest coming up.
Surprising ourselves.
Honestly. I didn't think, we're shocked too.
I'm just as shocked as you.
Yeah, so these shirts, want to address the shirts?
Yeah,
shout out to Hoop Society, our boys over there, Anthony and Corbin. Plugged us with the shirts. Go check them out. We'll leave a link in our bio of the
They based
episode.
in LA or Australia? What do you got?
They're worldwide.
They're worldwide.
Yeah, Ant and Corbin are worldwide, baby.
Yep, Prestige worldwide, baby.
Prestige worldwide. So thanks, Anthony and Corbin, for the shirts. Go check them out. They got a lot of cool designs. They're super comfy, bro. They're like tight
nice.
fitting.
They're really nice. I'm a hoop in this later.
Yeah, I'm gonna go work out in this as well.
So before we get into the finals, you want to do a little plug-in?
Little plug-in. Another thing, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. We're on all three of those. Leave us a 5-star. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not that tough to do.
Yeah. Yeah. 5-star review, or we'll feature the best reviews on the show, like this one right here.
Yeah, leave a good review. We'll put it right there.
We're still trying to figure out who this guy is.
Yeah, I really want to know who this guy is.
Reveal yourself.
Yeah, seriously, because I know we know you personally, and it's kind of upsetting me.
Yeah. We've reached out to a handful of people.
And they all denied it. So I just want to know. And that's a good thing about Apple reviews is they are anonymous. So we will never know.
So you guys can say whatever you want.
Say whatever you want. Just leave 5 stars. That's all I ask.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and go to the YouTube channel. The link is in our bio.
Link's in our bio. Subscribe and like the videos. That's really it. That's all we need. That's all we need. Everything else, we'll take care of everything else. You just do those for us.
We promise to keep bringing you good guests as long.
Yeah, we're bringing you good guests, good content. Just help us grow. We're trying to grow this shit for real.
Oh yeah, and what about the questions? We're trying to interact with you guys. We're trying to get.
Yeah, we need more questions. Like DM us, email us at belowtherimguys@gmail.com. Once again, that's below the rim guys. This is GUYS. @gmail.com. Below the rim guys. Email us questions. DM us on Instagram. Either or.
Yeah, we will. You will for sure make it to the show.
Just stuff to talk. It doesn't even have to be basketball. Like we just want to. Anything. We'll talk about anything.
We'll give you a really good, uneducated opinion on just about anything.
Yeah, dude. We don't read, and you'll find out. Now we read sometimes.
So man, dude, how was your night, man? Riley had a really good. Riley just loved last night.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be a good next few months for me.
It's just weird.
If you guys start watching this podcast and you're like, wow, Riley really taking care of himself.
He's in such a good mood lately.
He's in great shape. He's in a good mood. It's because the greatest player of all time showed yet again why he's the greatest player of all time.
I mean, I would say this was probably his best finals.
I just think it was his best because I was like the most confident that he would win it. Like he just hasn't been the favorite in so long. Which is weird because he's always the best player.
Weird. That is weird that LeBron's not the favorite. I mean, when you play the Warriors, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's hard to be the favorite.
It's a team sport, and I just couldn't be happier for the guy, man. It was a better way. Like, the year has been so shitty. I'm just glad we were able to get something positive out of it.
I'd say I'm happy for LeBron, but I'm more happy for, like, Kobe fans.
But even Kobe fans, dude, here's the thing, Kobe fans. If you're a Kobe fan and you say the words...
Those aren't... Kobe fans who are real Laker fans, not the Kobe fans who only like Kobe and don't like LeBron. That's what I mean. Like the Kobe fans who just want the Lakers to do well. Not the irrational Kobe fans that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, so those guys, I went out after Game 5.
Same. We had similar experiences.
And the guy, I ran into a guy. I ended up in like a 30-minute heated argument with this guy. I wasn't that heated because I don't actually care enough. Like, I'm not going to fight the guy. But he was trying to explain to me how he's been a Laker fan and he's so happy they're about to win the finals, but he still doesn't fuck with LeBron. and he hates LeBron.
Yeah, hey, dude, if LeBron wasn't here, you'd still be like last in the league.
I said, dude, your piss poor franchise hasn't made the playoffs since 2012, and this guy shows up and gets you back to the finals immediately. First year back in the playoffs, you're in the finals, about to win it.
The audacity.
And the audacity to still hate just because you have this weird loyalty to Kobe. I don't know, dude.
Do you think LeBron had that line pretty scripted out afterwards about respect?
LeBron has been practicing his finals post-game speech in the mirror the whole bubble.
Man, I could just feel the script. I felt the script the whole time he was reading it. I just could feel him coming. I felt the last line coming. Like, oh, he's about to say he wants some respect. He's about to ask for it.
Yeah, bro. LeBron always, and then on his Instagram, I love you, LeBron. I do. You know I love you, but you're an egomaniac, and that's okay. You deserve it. You're allowed to be. Like, you know what I mean? With all he's accomplished. But his first 5 pictures from the championship celebration were all just of him holding various trophies.
Just different angles.
And then, like, the 6th one had, like, AD in it. Yeah. And the 7th one was the team one. But he had to get those 5 of just himself off first. And he said, I came here 2 years ago. Like, I don't know, bro. LeBron is the king of humble brags, and he's also the king of, like, subtly mentioning himself. He's big I over we guy when he gives speeches.
Dude, yeah, people who can't see like, LeBron is a very unselfish guy, but he's also very selfish. People can't see the selfishness. People that can't see through it and see that he is kind of doing everything for himself at the end of the day.
Which is okay.
Yeah, but like
because you get to come along,
recognize it.
Yeah, but you get to come along for the journey if you're one of those guys that's on his team.
Yeah, like a Quinn Cook.
Yeah, like a Quinn Cook.
Or Jared Dudley.
Bro, how about Giannis's brother winning a ring before him? That's hilarious.
That's so funny, yeah.
That's great. He'll probably be out. He might be out of the league soon.
But he got that ring.
Which
probably sell for a lot once you're out of the league.
Yeah, I would sell my ring if I was on hard times.
You would?
If you had to, like if you went broke.
Yeah, man, that's like bottom of the bottom when you have to sell your ring. You really.
Isn't that what OJ had to do? And then he went and fought those guys to get his memorabilia back, or did they steal it? I don't know.
Let's get to the game part. We just talked about a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
That game, bro, that game sucked. You were just so happy the whole time. This guy loves blowouts. I don't like
blowouts. Whoa, don't sit here and lie for the fans, bro.
What did you say 20 times? This is such a great game. You said that when the Heat were down 30.
It was great because it was just beautiful to see, like, okay, leave no doubt. You know what I mean? Like, no doubt. We're going to just – the game's over in the second quarter, like – that's beautiful to see.
No,
LeBron's going to win his 4th ring.
Who wants that to be the last game?
I wanted game 5. That was going to be LeBron's iconic send-off. He had such a good game. It sucks that it got spoiled.
Knowing that it was going to end that way in game 6, I almost would have wished that the Lakers just finished in game 5 because that game would have been a great way to end the season.
Yeah, and game 5 was awesome.
Game 6 just sucked.
Yeah, game 6 was pretty terrible. But, I mean, from objectively, from a fan perspective, but as a fan of LeBron, bro, I mean, that's just beautiful to see,
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think? They can win it next year, too?
Dude, yeah, because they're going to have AD and LeBron back.
And they got cap room, right?
And they are, I feel like they have they got a bunch of one-year deals, but they're going to be, LeBron's good at just constructing these one-year squads.
Of vets.
You got your 2 dudes, and then you got a bunch of vets and guys that can get it done.
Bro,
good role players. They're going to be the favorites probably.
You know what's weird?
Obviously.
LeBron is good at being a GM, but also a lot of it is predicated on him being on the team. Like he can hide a team. He can hide a lot of flaws in a team. That's why he ends up in the finals all the time. Because he's good. He himself is good enough, but then you go against a better a Warriors type of team. You're gonna see how bad his team really is. So, that would be my only thing if he became a GM. I don't know, because you can't just go get a LeBron. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to think, okay, we have LeBron. Now what else?
And Anthony Davis.
And it's just weird that when they got Anthony Davis, people, still were I don't know. Are they going to – acting like they weren't even going to make the finals.
Yeah. Clippers.
Dude, and then, the Clippers, man, that's their fault. That is 100% on the Clippers.
But let's not lie. Before the season started, you were pretty high on the Clippers as well. Don't cap.
I was high that they were going to be good, but I still knew that the Lakers would wax
everybody else, thought it would be Lakers Clippers Western Conference Finals.
I did. I'm not going to sit here and say I predicted the Nuggets to get there.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But then when the Clippers didn't, it didn't surprise me.
Yeah, when you saw how the Clippers performed in the bubble, it didn't really surprise anybody, I don't think.
You know what the problem is with the Clippers, bro? I'm gonna just say it one more time.
What is the problem, Riley?
The single biggest problem with the Clippers is everybody on their team who talks the most deserves to talk the least. And the one guy who could actually be running his mouth regularly doesn't say a fucking word.
Yeah, like the leader is the most quiet guy, then everybody else is just...
Yeah, then you got all these guys that haven't accomplished anything yet, like in the league, like that just are just always just talking crazy, like about everybody. And then the one guy who's
don't
actually...
you think they're gonna? I think next year they're gonna have they'll come out a lot different. They're not gonna be the same.
Here's the thing, bro. I think next year you're gonna see one of the best versions of LeBron because the pressure's off for real. Like for real, the pressure's gone. Like I know he's always said like, "Oh, my legacy's already written," but like in the back of his head, he's like, "No, I have to." Like he did it. Like he got every team he's been on, he got a chip with.
So what you're saying is LeBron's gonna come out for an MVP next season.
I think next year he's gonna like put his foot on the gas and be like, "Let me make my last. Like let me just go as hard as I can." Year 18. Or he'll just really start like giving the reins to AD. You're gonna see one or the other. But I don't think...
I would say that MVP next year is probably coming out of LA. I would predict.
Well, I mean, shit, dude. It should if Kawhi and Paul George want to play all the games.
No, I wasn't. I didn't mean that. I meant LeBron or AD. Kawhi and Paul George, neither of them play enough to get MVP.
Dude, they need a coach that respects the regular season more.
The Lakers or the Clippers?
The Clippers. You can't be disrespecting the regular season and never have played together. At least when the Spurs would sit their guys, that core's been together.
Yeah, for like 60 years.
It's a different situation. Like you get a bunch of guys together first year and like your two best players. I don't know. How do you feel, bro? If you saw, like, I understand the situation and those guys make way more. Like, if I'm on the roster, I'm making $6-7 million, and Kawhi and PG they make like 30, and they're allowed. They get treated like they're making 30. They get treated better for sure. But doesn't that shit piss you off a little bit if you just see them like, oh, they missed another practice. Oh, they're just not suiting up tonight.
Yeah,
like,
but
what's
also
wrong, bro?
if you're that guy making 6-7 mil, that's a they're giving you opportunity. You're getting a lot more run than you would be if they're playing. Even if it's going to hurt the team in the long run, you're getting your chance to show what you got.
But what if like I'm like a Montrezl Harrell and I can't show what I got unless like I'm with good players?
Yeah.
Like I need good players around me.
That might bug a guy like him.
Dude,
but like Montrezl Harrell benefits most from like Lou Williams, who like they play kind of all the same games.
Yeah, those guys just did not want to play in the bubble, and you could tell. But
they were.
But they had a bunch of problems before the bubble, too.
Hey, the guy that we're having on the pod today dropped a 50-piece on the Clippers.
He did. He has a 50 ball in the NBA, which is something not a lot of guys could say. Yeah, so we got a great guest today. Real excited. Once again, just really grateful he gave us some of his time.
Back-to-back 8th overall picks.
Good league vet at this point. Drafted in 2012 by Toronto. 8th overall, like Ryan said.
Won the dunk contest as a rookie.
Dropped 50 on the Clippers in 2013 in year 2.
And then in 2017 got traded from Toronto to Orlando. He got traded for Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, it's part of that Serge deal.
And signed a big deal with
Orlando. 4-year extension with the Magic. Currently on the Magic. Hosts a podcast. The TRoss Podcast.
Yeah, great listen if you like comedy or hoops, anything, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, from what we've listened to his podcast, he talks about a lot of non-basketball.
A lot like ours.
Yeah, a lot like ours. Kind of rambles on stuff that isn't basketball.
Yeah, give his podcast a listen.
Yeah,
hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoy it, man. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to Terrence Ross for giving us some of his time. So, hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
What's up, man? You can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right on, man. Hey, thanks for coming, man. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries.
Just a couple of things before we get started. We do a lot of like post editing, obviously. So anything you don't want in, man, we'll cut that out. And then, yeah, dude. So we just got like a few questions for you that we had. We've been listening to your podcast.
Funny as hell, man.
Yeah, dude. We really like that you're.
Thanks, bro.
That you don't just identify with just basketball. As much. Like what makes you want to kind of branch out and just kind of be more than an athlete in that way?
I think we're all, I can't really speak for everybody else, but I know for me it's just kind of, I don't know, I just felt like that's always just something everybody identifies with or identifies me with. So I just kind of want to get outside of that, man. There's so much other shit I like and Oh, can I curse?
Oh, dude, please fucking
cool.
swear away.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was on my fault.
That was a Christian podcast, bro. We don't swear.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but for sure. But just getting outside of that, man, just kind of seeing what, like, just letting people know what I'm into and all the crazy shit that goes on with me. And I don't know, just something outside of basketball. I feel like that's the only thing people know me for. So, I mean, that's not bad. It's cool. I mean, it helps with the podcast, getting off the ground a little easier. But for the most part, man, I like all types of crazy shit.
What's your favorite podcast?
Right now, I have like a heavy rotation between like King and the Sting, Fighter and the Kid,
The same ones
this
we
past
listened to.
weekend,
Yeah.
like all that shit.
There
Like
we go,
Stevie,
good.
like the Stevie Weeby Show, Bad Friends.
Dude,
all
bro,
the same podcast.
Bro, it's kind of like the same thing. Like once you kind of get going with that, because I used to only listen to like the Joe Rogan Experience because I thought that's just what podcast was. I was like, oh, that's the podcast. No, but that's just like once I was like, no, there was millions of podcasts out there, and then I start diving in, and all the comedians have funny ones and shit. So I don't know. I like conspiracy podcasts. I like goofy podcasts, but I find myself listening to like just this past weekend and Bad Friends and Tiger Belly and all types of weird shit.
Yeah, but we had a feeling you might be into those ones specifically because we saw you had Chappelle Lacey on recently.
Yeah.
And he worked with all those guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chappelle, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's so many, bro. Everybody has a podcast, right? So, like, all these guys were just kind of like, I was watching them because, my co-host, Steven, he was always putting me on to like these funny clips and I didn't know where they were coming from. So, I started watching one and one just led to another. And how YouTube throws up like that random like recommendation type shit. Like all that got me. I was stuck watching like random clips from like 15 different shows and I just went down that rabbit hole. But yeah, like Chappelle was cool as hell. We spoke to him. I hit him up on Instagram. He's like, yeah, I'd be super down to come on the show. And then once we kind of had him on the show, then it just kind of everybody else, like, Theo and like Brandon, all those guys, we start, talking to them and we start hanging out with like Kat from Kat and whatever her late night show is on King this thing. So we start talking to those guys and they start hooking us up. We went on like whiskey or ginger whiskey or whiskey ginger or something like that.
Whiskey
I forgot.
Ginger.
Yeah, whiskey ginger. Yeah. That was fun. We did a whole bunch of just random shit, bro. He Theo hooked us up with a whole bunch of guys to go out there and make rounds with. So it was cool, bro. It was definitely something I could see myself getting into. So I think that's kind of like where I want like my podcast to go. I mean, I'm still gonna clearly talk about basketball every now and then, and if something crazy happens, but for the most part, I just want it to be kind of like that, just like taking it and just the show is podcasting. If that makes sense.
Yeah, just talking.
Just random shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's how it should be, man. And that's pretty cool, dude, that you're just like into that shit because like we just don't know a lot of people that are as into the same type of like we love podcasts. That's why we started one, and like I'm sure you probably are in the same boat. Did 2020 kind of make you sit and think like, man, what do I want to? Because the stillness of the world kind of make you think, what do I want to do when basketball stops?
It's weird, like, because my co-host, he's always kind of like pushed me into like, yo, we should start a podcast. And I was just like, I mean, okay, sure, whatever. I kind of wrote him off about it a few times, but he was asking for months and months. And then all of a sudden, like once the season stopped and wasn't really shit to do, he was like, bro, this would be the perfect time to like trying to start one. So I remember it was just like one random day. He was like, bro, fuck it, let's just start one. I was just like, all right, let's figure out how whatever, like all the shit we need. Let's figure out, how to do this. Let's set up everything. But then like that first week, bro, we had to get all the equipment. We had to get all the like the stuff that you need to record. We had to get laptops. We had to get, the mics.
Yeah, we know the difficulty.
Yeah, we know the grind, bro. We know the grind.
Yeah. Just like I know, even just getting that set up right there for you guys probably took it took a lot. And
bro, it took like 8 tries too. We had like different boom arms. We were trying all the boom arms. Like we just like we couldn't figure out which one.
Trust me, bro. I have mics everywhere now. Like there's mics, microphones, headsets, like all this shit I bought and try to just like figure out how to work. Until I found something that kind of like worked for me. I was just like, all right. That was the biggest part, is just like getting started. And then
like once we act, like the very first time we even started, like, okay, let's do a solo episode, bro. We talked for like 9 minutes, and we were like, what the fuck? This is way harder than I thought. And then it's just like,
you think it's just people bullshitting, bro? It's not. The guys are really locked in. Yeah,
the camera makes a big difference.
It's for sure. You gotta actually like put a ton of effort into it. So we're just like, God damn, like, what the hell are we gonna talk about now? Like now we're here. It's like, okay, so we're trying to figure out like, which direction to go. On top of like trying to like not script it, but like have a direction. Like that was the hardest part because like once you get out there, it's just you can talk. Like 7 minutes of talking isn't the same as like 7 minutes of like talking on a podcast.
Yeah, no facts.
So I think we had to learn how to do that. But I mean, the learning part has been the best part about the whole learning experience is just figuring out what works, how everything works, how to get. Because, like, when you go to, like, this past weekend or whatever, you go to their YouTube page, it's like everything looks legit. You don't even think about how much work goes into, like, just making it look nice, getting the logo, getting the intro. Like,
that's all we've been working on this last week. Yeah, dude, because it's, like, this is the easy part. Like, we were talking about this the other day. Like, just recording the podcast is actually the easiest part. It's all the other bullshit. Trying to figure out, all right, do we put this clip out? Is that stupid? Like, should we cut it here? Like,
sure.
Teaching ourselves how to edit videos.
No, for sure, bro. We have a team. We have somebody that edits and clips everything for us. But we had to get like a lot of the artwork ourselves. We had to like get an animator to go through all this stuff to make sure our intro looks right and this and that and the other. But it's a lot of work. But I mean, it's coming together. And the best thing about it is like, when did you guys start your podcast?
Really around the same time I know your first episode was like June 30th. Our first
May or June.
We tried starting in May, but like, bro, it's so fucking hard to get this shit going. So like, we recorded a bunch, and like shit would go wrong, and we'd be like, that sounds shitty. Like, so we didn't get one up and loaded till June 13th. Yeah. So yeah, same.
That's
same
literally
way.
like the same time, right?
Yeah.
So. And so much time has already gone by too. Like, how many episodes do you guys have out?
This is
right around yours. I think we're at 11. This is 11, right?
Yeah,
this is our 11.
11, 12, right? Yeah, bro. Just wait. Like, just literally this time next year, you're gonna have like 50 episodes out, and you're like, damn, bro, we came a long way. It's gonna change. You guys are gonna set up a different location, different background. All this.
Yeah, no, that'd be dope.
That's the beauty of it, though.
Yeah, it's really the grind and just seeing it grow, and like even like the small wins, I feel like you got to celebrate with the podcast. Like 3 more subscribers, like, all right, cool, man. Like, we'll take that shit, like.
Some comments.
Trust me, like if you don't think I'm constantly on my phone, looking at YouTube subscribers, going to the sort of Captivate thing, looking at our numbers, making sure that everybody's listening. It's crazy staying on top of just like trying to reach out to people. That's the hardest part. Is just reaching out to people it's a nightmare sometimes. Like, even if you think it's going to be easy, even if you know it's a for sure lock, they're going to be. It's just like making sure they're on time, making sure that you can get them, make sure everything runs. It's like a full thing to go through. So, I mean, but hey, a year time from now, who knows where we could be, bro? We're gonna have a ton of more, followers, a ton of more subscribers. It's gonna be booming. I'm telling you. That's
bro.
The fun part.
Yeah, that's why we're so hyped to get a guest as big as you on early. I mean, we're obviously a basketball podcast, but like similar to you, like we like to talk about a lot of non-basketball things. So with your co-host too, we were also wondering, how did you guys meet? Like, what's your connection? What like how long you known that guy?
Yeah, we grew up together. We've known each other since around sixth, 7th grade.
Okay.
I played on his travel team. His dad was a head coach, and we know each other since like 7th grade, and then we went to different high schools for a little bit, and then we ended up going to the same high school for like the last. He went to my school for like the last 2 years of high school, so it was pretty dope. Like, we know each other, we grew up, and then just stayed close ever since. And yeah, we like most of our relationship now is like, because he lives on the East Coast, or he lives on the West Coast. I live way on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our friendship now, it went from like us kicking it at each other's houses or hanging around the neighborhood, or he's calling right now, so funny, or even just like, just hanging out at somebody else's house. But now it's all basically Warzone, headphones. Like, I don't ever see him in person now, and it's weird. So he was like, yo, bro, since we're always talking, we need to start a podcast. And that's how it goes. But yeah, we known each other since, kids, and now we're freaking adults running the podcast. Crazy. How do y'all know each other?
We're brothers.
Yeah, we're brothers. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's way easier.
Yeah, since birth,
it is
you know.
it is way easier. It should be way easier.
Yeah, dude. What's it called, man? I almost feel weird even wanting to get into basketball questions with you, man. But we do have a few that we wanted to know.
Yeah, okay.
Like this morning, so I saw your story. You were kind of you were
Mhm.
kind of making some solid points about the like. Personally, I think LeBron's the GOAT. So like, it's hard for me to
Yeah.
like. I'm always arguing with dudes like my dad's age, like about that shit. So
Yeah.
so kind of you want to just like expand a little bit on like what you were talking about on your
Yeah.
story, like the points you were making, LeBron versus Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I've been I don't know. I was watching like, damn, if LeBron does win, I was like, where does that put him like in the all-time greats? Because I mean, it's with Jordan, everybody's like, yo, he won 6 rings and he was 6-0 and yada yada yada. I was like, okay, sure, but there's also like Bill Russell won more than 6 rings. He won a ton of rings. There's other players who won like, you know, if that's how we're gonna like judge things, then it won't matter, right? But for me, Jordan was a killer. He was a savage beast, like freak athlete who is just like an offensive juggernaut, right? That's essentially how you could round up his whole game. Not to say that he wasn't a beast on defense, because he was. But LeBron is like if we're talking about just greatness, we can compare games all day and that can go, you know, left, right, whatever. If we're talking about just like sheer greatness of like what they have done to the sport and what they've done and like how they achieve like championships, he's went to the finals for pretty much a decade, except the one time he was hurt and couldn't play, and his team is still going to the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, I know Jordan, he went 2 separate times, but bro, for a decade straight of just finals, like I don't think people understand. Like your season starts in October, so really like early October, so that's what, November, so or not September, right? So it's so far back. So he doesn't get any time off, bro. He's been doing that for 10 years where you're just like basketball, maybe Olympics and then basketball. Like, so he just takes no time off, and every time he plays, no matter what team he goes to, he's going to the finals. Like, that is hard to do for anybody, bro.
That's more impressive, right?
For 10 years to go to the championship game, I know he's only won 4, but he didn't take 3 different cities.
Yeah.
And it looks like he potentially could go back next year. So I don't know, man. And bubble or not, like everybody wants to talk shit about the bubble and say like, oh, it's an easy win. That's not an easy win, because if it was an easy win, the Clippers would have got a little further.
Yeah, exactly.
The Celtics might have went to the finals, or however it went. But like Miami was a 5th seed. Yeah. Milwaukee was, everybody thought it was on lock to go to the finals. I don't know. So it's just. It was a tough bubble, bro. Like, you're in the middle of the season, some teams are playing really well, and then you get that momentum kind of cut off, and then you just sitting around waiting for 3 months, and then you go to a bubble where it's just like nonstop basketball. For the Lakers, they were there for how many months? For like 4 months almost, just playing, like, and that's every other day. So it's just, it's a different type of grind, bro. We had to change the way we were thinking about how we go into like playing, because it just wasn't the same. Yeah, we didn't have to travel, but like, okay, now everybody's fresh. You're gonna get everybody's best shot. That's why you got Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell going for 50 every other game, and like these teams balling out, coming back from 3-1 and winning. But like, to get back to LeBron, it's just like, bro, he came out on top of all of that. Like, his greatness is different, bro. He's the best all-around player to ever play. He's like a better Magic Johnson.
Yeah, his longevity
and more
is
athletic,
unmatched.
Yeah, and longevity. He's been for 17 years at the highest level.
Yeah, bro. I feel like too, just as you like being in the league and just other league guys can really appreciate. Because I don't think people understand how hard that grind is to play 82, and then he's playing an extra 20 plus every year on top of that, and then having the shortest off season, and then just doing it again. New coach, new team all the time. Like take us through like just how long an NBA season is. Like, are there parts of the season, like how do you go through stretches where guys just are just like, man, like I don't know how I could get up tonight.
And for rookies, you can hit a wall easy, and that's what people call it, like the rookie wall, right? So one college season or one NBA season is like 4 college seasons. Let's put it that way. So you're playing a lot of games. You're playing back to back. You're flying from city to city, I mean, it's a grind, bro, and I don't think people understand like how much time and like effort and just like not even willpower, but just how much goes into just being every single game for 82. Like to play 82 games all season is really, really tough. And Jordan's done that, and goddamn, LeBron's done that, and he's done it for 17 years, bro. And he just hasn't stopped. And he's just gotten better and better and better and better and better. That's pretty much with Jordan. And I think the thing that's going to separate it now is LeBron wins another championship, and then we get to see how he's playing, if he's still playing around the same year as Jordan did when he was in, like, Washington. Because if this guy can do anything that what he's doing now, in, like, his later 30s and early 40s,
it's a wrap.
I think you got to say he's probably going to be the greatest of all time. And there's no telling it, because he wants to be an owner, too. There's no telling how many he could fucking win as an owner or a GM or whatever. So, like, I think his career is just so far from being done that when it's all said and done, he's going to be the greatest basketball player mind to probably ever do it. So, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Because what he's doing right now is, like, I think people are just so used to how good he is that they don't, like, take a step back to, like, really, like, see what he's doing because it's fucking amazing. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. And I'm not even a LeBron fan. Like, I'm a Kobe fan.
Yeah.
And then by way of Kobe, I'm really a Jordan fan.
Yeah.
So like Jordan is more fun to watch just because the way he did it was just like ferocious. But the way LeBron's doing it is just that's a different type of greatness.
Yeah, bro.
I feel like you can't say that Jordan is better than LeBron because of what he just 3 different teams, 3 different championships, 4 Finals MVP. That's tough. He did it in Chicago 6 times, and that's mind-boggling in its own right. But going to the championships for a decade straight, you can't knock it.
Yeah, bro, and that's another thing we always laugh about because it's funny you brought up Jordan and Kobe, like because they're 2 of the most skilled players of all time, like just difficult shot making, all that shit. Like LeBron, I mean, we talk about it a lot. We just laugh like. He doesn't really have moves. Like, he's got no wiggle. Like, he doesn't really have, like, a go-to. You know what I mean? Like, how's he doing this shit with no go-to move?
So, I mean, he has go-to moves. He loves, but that's the difference, right?
It's just hezzy to your hips.
But look, but that's the thing, though. We got Jordan, he's going to take the last shot. And we all saw LeBron just make the right play.
Yeah.
That's the difference between them. Like, that's how, I mean, it's just different. Like, neither of them are wrong, but that's just how I would describe it. One's going to pass and make the right play. One is going to fucking be the game winner and the hero because that's just how he wants to do it. But I don't know, man. This is different for me. I just don't think that you can't really compare anybody else. And Kobe is he's like Jordan in the sense of mindset. He's just a fucking offensive juggernaut. He's the most skilled scorer, one of the most skilled scorers, if not ever. But I don't know. It's just different. That's why it's hard to compare skill. That's the thing. People you can go back and forth on the skill part because LeBron does everything well. Jordan was just like an offensive masterpiece. You can go back and forth on that all day. But like if you can focus on the greatness of these 2 players and what they've done for the game. There's not too many like them, man. I think it's just them 2 by themselves.
We're in the same boat. I mean, whenever people talk about best, I feel like the best player of all time and the greatest player of all time are a little bit different. Like I would say LeBron's like the best all around player, but like maybe the greatest career. I mean, not career, peak maybe MJ.
Yeah, if you just had to like 2K create a great player,
yeah, you'd create LeBron.
You make LeBron every time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
for
just
sure. But
physically
Jordan,
imposing.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, because Jordan is he was just a fucking savage beast, offensive juggernaut. Like he pretty much besides when he got hurt and besides when he went to the Wizards for those 2 years, he averaged 30 every year.
Yeah.
Like
unreal.
That is insane. And he was averaging 30 like not missing any games.
All 2s too.
Like
yeah,
all bro.
2s.
All 2s.
Like, all 2 mid-range to the free throw line and dunking. Like, don't get me wrong, he could hit a 3, but like he was shooting like maybe mid to low 30s from 3. So it wasn't like he was like fucking just like James Harden or anything. But fuck, he was just like going at you with his athleticism every fucking play, and you just couldn't stop it. And I think that was the difference. And the way he did it was like he's going out putting 50, 60. He's doing all this crazy shit, dunking on people, jumping over people. LeBron did it. He just does it in a different way. And that's what you gotta appreciate. He can give you literally he can throw no looks. He can dunk on you. He could get crazy rebounds, blocks. I mean, he just does everything in a unique style that you can't. And his size. That's the other thing. His size and his fucking athletic ability is not normal.
Yeah, what's it like getting a LeBron shoulder put on you?
Oh, bro, that's the thing though. Like when you get like the few times I've guarded LeBron in the post, it's not like he's trying to like bully you. I mean, there's times where he's tried that or he's done it, whatever. But bro, it's really he's just like out there thinking, or he's gonna do a turnaround, or he's gonna throw a no look pass. That's what you have to worry about, bro. Like if Jordan is gonna do Jordan stuff to me, cool. But like if you're gonna just beat me in like 3 or 4 different ways, that's also not fun too.
Yeah.
And that's literally what happened. So I don't know. He's just different that way.
Yeah. And then just one more, like, because you were talking about him just because you were a part of those Raptors teams where you guys had matched up with him in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So is that shit true about him? Talking about like telling your teammates who are lost like the play. Does that shit happen?
What?
Does that shit happen out there? Like, is he doing that?
Oh, when he's walking through your when he's calling your play out.
Yeah, or like some dude on like I think they're saying Patrick Patterson or somebody didn't know a set and LeBron like told him where to go on the play.
I for sure. I don't know. It might have been. I don't know.
Like, dude, shut up.
It could have been, bro. But no, he's smart, bro. He's really, really smart. Like he knows everybody's plays. Everybody's plays. Like even let's say the Clippers beat the Nuggets. He would know all the Clippers plays, even if like he didn't scout. Like he just knows every team's offense. He knows the coaches' plays. He knows he knows history about the coaches' backgrounds, what their style of coaching is, what their playbook is. Like he knows all that, bro. The shit he knows and like how much thought and time he puts into the game is unreal. So he can literally just call out plays as they happen. He's smart like that, bro. That's another way he beats you. Like, I'll tell you one story. When I was the 2013 team, the year he won it, right? In 2012? Or was it a back-to-back year? The second championship he won in Miami. I remember I was playing. We were playing them in Toronto. I was guarding Ray Allen in the corner, and we were down by like it was like a 1-point game. They were up by 1. Maybe like 30, 40 seconds to go in the fourth. I'm guarding Ray in the corner, like closest to my bench. LeBron's at the top of the key. He's dribbling, and then he's like looking right at me, bro. And it's like my rookie year, so I'm just like, okay, don't fucking leave Ray Allen, yada, yada, yada. I'm guarding him. LeBron is just like looking at me. He's looking at everybody else, and he kind of like sees that like I'm just in the corner, maybe out of position or whatever. So he just starts looking at me, and I'm just like, I know he's not like looking right at me because there's another dude in front of me. So he's just like looking at me. He tells the dude to go through. He calls out for his screen. He goes off to his right hand, bro. And I just bit on it because I thought he would beat the defender. So I fucking jumped to him. He passed it to Ray in the corner for a wide open 3. Dagger, bro. And I was just, and then we called a timeout. When I looked or I turned around, he was looking at me like, yeah, saying some crazy shit. I was just like, fuck. And I just knew it, bro. I was like, when he was looking at me, I was like, fuck, this is not going to be good. Boom, Ray for a 3, game over. So I knew right then. I was like, okay, he's a different type of guy.
Yeah, definitely just thinks the game. What's it called, man? We had some like we were wondering too. We were talking about this. How a lot of NBA guys get it, or just honestly like celebrities too. How did you get your Instagram at? How did you get just Terrence?
Yeah, if I wanted to have it mine Ryan, what would I do?
Like who'd you call? Like what'd you do?
I called my agent.
Oh, really?
We gotta get an
His
agent,
wife actually
dude.
worked at Instagram at the time. So they had the hookup. They were like, okay, we'll see if anybody's using like the handle name Terrence Ross. And if it's not been activated, we'll just take that and give it to you. So they can do shit. They can, if like an account's not being activated for like however long and they have the name you want, you just got to hit up Instagram and be like, yo, I don't think anybody's using this account that has the name. And they'll take the name and they'll give it to you or whatever. But I had to wait for like a couple months. I was just, can somebody say, yo, do you want to change your name to like all your handles to like just Terrence Ross? I was just like, sure. And then okay, we'll work on it. And then a couple months later, I just woke up one day, looked at my phone, all of them said Terrence Ross. I didn't even do anything. So I was like,
that's great.
dope.
That would be nice.
Got lucky.
So we just got to get an agent, right?
Yeah, we just got to get some.
Yeah.
Right.
Get an agent first
For sure.
What's it called? You're a big comedy fan, man. Who's your top 5 all-time comedians?
Dave Chappelle.
This is in numerical order, or are we just in no order? Because Chappelle's my one too.
Yeah, Chappelle's number 1.
Yeah, Chappelle's my one. So
Yeah, Chappelle's number 1. Top 5 right now. This is hard. You put me on the spot. Anytime anything
right?
top 5, it takes me forever.
no, top 5 does take forever.
Yeah, 5's a lot. Just
Even 5 guys you just really fuck with right now that you like their
Okay.
shit.
Dave Chappelle. Rest in peace. Bernie Mac was funny.
R.I.P.
Kevin Hart. Cat Williams. And I'll say Eddie Murphy. All mine are a little older, but that's those are the only, because they're like the only comedians that I felt like I would laugh out loud to. There's not, and it's weird, bro. I love going to like comedy shows and then watching stand-ups like on Netflix or whatever. But it's rare that I laugh out loud. I might chuckle, I might think, oh, that's funny, but I don't like physically laugh sometimes. It takes a lot to make me laugh. Like if you're making me laugh, then it's a really fucking good comedy show.
Yeah, you don't just chalk it up to anybody. That's the way to do
I'm
it.
not giving you
No
courtesy
free laughs.
laughs if I don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's good. So, but do you think it's funnier in person? Like I'm always telling people, like how much funnier a certain guy. Like if you see a guy in person, it's so much funnier than on Netflix. Like.
Yeah, for sure. Like especially if you can go get a couple drinks and you're just in that environment. Sometimes the environment is what like is the mood changer. And like if it's really, really funny, it's gonna be funny regardless. But for the most part, like sometimes you have to go to the show, which sucks because you can't really go to a lot of shows now. But if you can, it's probably better that way.
Bro, when you were playing, so the Bubbles were in Orlando and you're playing for Orlando, how annoying was it to be like 10 minutes from your house and not be able to go there?
Oh, bro, it sucked so bad. I mean, the day I left, I got home in like fucking 8 minutes, but it was terrible, bro. I don't know. I felt like I was just like literally around the corner from my family and from my house, my whole setup. So I was just like, ain't can it go anywhere? That's the only thing, bro. We can't really do much. They have like boat rides for us and stuff and fishing expeditions. Like, you can only fish and go on a boat like 2 miles an hour. So like, it's only so many times you can do that before you're just like, bro, I gotta get the fuck out of here. But I mean, it sucked just because you knew you were home and you're right around the corner. So that was the only tough part. But you can get home quick. So I mean, only bonus.
Yeah, were you able to get shit like dropped off because you were so close, or?
Like the first day, I think the first week they were allowing people to drop stuff off if you live in town. But then after that, they're like, nah, anything else you want to send in, you have to mail in. So like even if I have like a controller that I forgot for my PlayStation, if I told my wife to bring it, like nah, you can't bring it in, but you can like send it through the mail and send it right across or right around the corner. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. So
Way too complicated.
It wasn't too bad, but it was annoying.
What game do you like to play? What you be gaming
right now?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been stuck on 2 games right now, and that's just Warzone and UFC. I've been playing UFC like a madman.
UFC's fun as hell.
You lock in on those button combos, like you learn the combos. Because I feel like I just button smash when I play UFC. Like.
Oh no, bro, I'm not like great, but I'm pretty good.
The ground game.
I play online a lot. I play like they have leagues online.
Oh wow.
So like in a couple of leagues, and if you win 3 fights in a row, you get a chance to fight for like a championship belt. And then if you don't, you get kicked out that league and go to another league. And it's a whole bunch of shit you can do on there. And I'm like fucking killing it right now.
That's
my
dope.
favorite game.
Yeah, UFC's fun.
I haven't played 2K. I played Madden a little bit. But yeah, right now it's just UFC and
Yeah, the new
Oh, dude.
2K fucking sucks.
God, dude, the new
that shot
2K
meter,
is
dude.
so
I
hard to
you know, I
shoot,
get-
bro. I mean, it's all right. It's hard
Yeah.
once you get used to it, kind of, but it just takes so
we were
long.
shooting so many air balls the first week.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Off the side of
unbelievable.
the back.
Yeah, you gotta go through that learning curve, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm always like that. I always end up playing 2K like right when the next 2K is about to come out. So I'll probably not play for the next 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden I'll just go on my random 2K wave and start playing every day.
Do you do what's your 2K? What's your like preference? We're big My League guys over here. We love to do like all-time fantasy drafts and stuff like that. What do you like My Career? Like, what's your go-to 2K mode?
Usually I was just playing like the park, and then I used to play a lot of my team, or just putting like random superstars together and shit, and like just doing the whole customizing the arena. I used to love that, and then I stopped doing that because it just got too much. It was just not realistic at all. And then I started playing with My League. Yeah, I ran into some people that did like Pro-Am, and they were like, "Yo, or not My League, but it's like my Pro-Am team or whatever." So I started playing on like people's Pro-Am teams, or like we were legit practicing like once a week just before we started playing games, bro. But I'm telling you, like, we had a record of like 185 and like 10.
Damn.
Wild,
shit.
bro. We had,
Shit.
Do you have anybody on your team was on your team, or are these all just randoms, or how'd you meet these guys?
I started these guys are random. We started playing together because we were playing on like just the regular threes that you play on like my park. We were doing that, and then I started talking to them, and then we ended up like getting on it was like, okay, just add me as a friend, and I added them, and then they put me on a team. I ended up actually like customizing all their jerseys and shit. Like it was a weird night. I think this is like right when the quarantine. I think this is like right when March kicked in, right when the NBA got like suspended. So I'm just like I had nothing to do for weeks at times. So I'm just up at like 3 or 4 in the morning just playing 2K. So
Just
these guys.
It's a random dude.
Yeah.
Did you tell them you're Terrence Ross?
Yeah. I told them because they knew who I was, and but it was weird. They were older guys, but these guys are like, yeah, I have a son in college. I'm like, really? I was like, oh shit. I was like, so you guys are like older. It was like, yeah, bro, we're all grown up. So I was like, I ended up making like these 4 or 5 random, PSN friends, just random through 2K.
That's funny.
And then we started, and they put me on the team, and we just balled out. Like we had like legit maybe like 11 to 12 guys on the roster, and it's weird because you can only play 5 at a time. But anytime we needed a player or somebody in the league, we had a sub. Just another dude just hop on real quick, get on. He has like a 98 overall. And
Damn.
fucking bad. But these guys are all older, so I was just like, all right, cool. Like you guys ain't little fucking spamming ass,
Little kids
shit
cussing.
kids all day. So I was just like, all right, it's a different change.
When you go to the park on
it's
2K, do they let you play with your player, or do you have to play with like a created player?
Nah, so like with me, like whenever for any player, if you want to like get your guy like super rated high or whatever, get all the badges unlocked, you just hit up Ronnie.
Okay.
You just like go to Twitter, hit up Ronnie, like, yo, can you hook my PSN or my Xbox account up and change them, whatever, and then he's like, yeah, I got you. And then whenever he says he does it, you turn your Xbox off or your PlayStation off, or just log out of the game, log back on, and then your my player is your actual like
your
player in the game, and then that's who you are. So when you go through like the story mode, you're playing as yourself.
Okay, yeah,
that voiceover and all
that would
shit.
suck to have to start over.
But when you go
50.
Yeah, it sucks, right? So like we would have like we just ask him for like all the badges. He unlocks all the badges for us, and we get to choose the ones we want. He gives us like free BC points, so it makes it really easy for us. Like we can get to 95 rather than just like the normal 85.
Yeah,
I can get to 95 and just grind and get to like 98 in like
shit on everybody.
an hour or two. So it's a cheat code for sure. But hey,
perks of the league. Yeah, perks of being in the league.
Right.
I had another podcast related question. So your studio, it's like that Third Wheel studio. I saw them. Like it looks like they do like a lot of podcasts out of that studio, and it's in LA. Like how'd you link with them? And then that's where you do most of your recording, or?
Well, it's so random. So when we went out to LA like a few weeks ago, and we were just gonna go out there. We had a whole bunch of guests lined up, and I had brought all my podcast equipment to like set up in the house to make like kind of like a setup, just like how you guys got it right now. But then once we start doing it, we're like, damn, bro, this might not be good enough. Like, and he was just like, yo, should I just like look around to see if we can just like find a studio? I was like, sure. 10 minutes later, he fucking finds a whole professional setup like 10 minutes away from it. So it was just like, yeah, it's a professional podcast studio and yada, yada, yada. So we called. They had no time scheduled for like next 3 or 4 days. So we were like, yeah, we'll just look up a few times. And we just went in there and just did some whole bunch of like legit episodes. And we kind of stockpiled. We did like maybe like 5 or 6 or 7 episodes. And so right now we're just like stockpiling them up and we kind of just release them like this. We got one coming out tomorrow. We got our last one coming out the next week. So I mean, after that, we're probably gonna try to come back out here because that was in LA. Now I'm back in Orlando. He might come back out here to Orlando. We're gonna try to find another studio to kind of do the same thing. So right now it's like we don't really have a
base.
legit,
Yeah.
like a base. But like as long as we can find like a studio that we can go to, it's way better because it's hard to do it at the house because you don't have the soundproof and.
Yeah, dude, trust me, we know.
Like, yeah, man, that's the hardest part, bro.
Yeah,
So,
facts.
I mean, it's just easier to do that, I guess.
Right on, man. That's dope. So the guests you're hitting up are what space are a lot of them in? Like what kind of guests you looking to talk to?
Well, I mean, we getting a lot of random people and like my agency helps with some of that, so I can kind of tell them who I like, and they can go out there and put feelers out and see if they can get a hold of people or whatever. So they've been helpful that way. But for the most part, we usually reaching out to all different types of people. Of course, some athletes, but we got a couple, just like random, comedians, just other random podcast hosts. We have a director, some actors. Right now, we're working on getting a couple MMA guys. So I know we have Matt Sarah coming on, I think like next week. So we got some UFC guys coming on, working on some more conspiracy podcasts. So I mean, we just do whenever whatever comes our way, just kind of going with the flow, I guess.
That's nice, man. You drop Tuesdays too, once a week? Is that when you release?
Yeah. So we try to do it like once a week, and then like we try to get as many guests as we can, and then when we get however many guests, we can kind of do those, and then we kind of space our episodes out by just doing like maybe we have 4 guests, and then after the second episode drops, we might drop one of our solos, and then drop another guest, another solo, and another guest. We just want to space everything out so we can get like a steady dose of everything. So it's not so much like an interview show all the time. So I don't know. It's just we're just testing it out, just feeling around.
Feel that way. Yeah, we're trying to not make this like less of an interview show.
Yeah, the one with
More
Stanley felt real like interviewy, but
Yeah,
Zoom kind of causes that too, because like
no, for sure
Yeah.
it sucks because if we're in the same spot, we could probably vibe out. It'd be just a different feeling. But when you all just cross the Zoom world, it makes it a little challenging. But it's good though because I guess we need stuff like this. But at the same time, once you have people coming like back into contact with people, it'll probably be a lot easier.
Yeah, 2020 made this a lot more acceptable, like to release podcasts via
Yeah.
Zoom, like definitely.
Yeah, the new normal.
But yeah, no, it's hard to pick up like subtleties. Like I tried to make a joke last week with Stanley, and like
The
he
timing is
just
weird,
kind of was
too.
like, "Wait, what?" And then I cut him off, and this shit's just awkward,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That was the first
Gotta
Zoom
get
one,
back
though.
to
Yeah, man.
It goes like that, but
Yeah.
I think people understand. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I got you.
We got no one to please, really.
No, that's very, very little pressure, man. This is you can honestly say something. You could honestly say whatever you want on this podcast, man. Our numbers are just not, you know what I mean? Like you're not risking anything on this platform yet, like. But,
Trust me, bro. People dig, bro.
Oh yeah,
They'll
they
find
do.
it.
All you gotta
It's
do is
out
type
there.
in
They'll
Terrence
find
Ross.
It, bro.
yeah, we just gotta.
It won't be for another 10, 7, like 10,
Blow up in like 10
Yeah.
11
years.
years, but it'll pop up.
Yeah, contentless forever. We're gonna milk this. We're gonna clip every question we ask to. we got to. What's it called, man? You got any more questions for him, right? Or?
Yeah, I got one more basketball related question. So earlier in your
Go
career
ahead.
with Toronto, you started a lot, and then transitioning later in your career, you've been more of like a role player. What is the difference in like your mindset going to each game, being a starter versus coming off the bench?
With the starter, you got to go in there and like be right on top of it. And I think the one thing for me is coming off the bench, it's like you kind of get the feel for the game already. So you kind of know what you need to add or what you need to bring or what you need to be ready for. Because, I mean, it's tough because, like, when starters comes out, like, or when they start the game, you're kind of like, okay, I hope they come out ready. I hope they come out hot. I hope they start doing this, yada, yada, yada. And then for me watching it, it's like either, okay, I need to up the intensity or, okay, the guys are playing really well. I need to go in there and not fuck this up and keep them in minimum rolling or whatever. So it gives you kind of like a warning for what's to come, I guess. And I think that's something for me that helps me, like, dial in or something. So if we need shooting or scoring, that's when I'm locked in on. We need just defense or intensity or whatever, that's when I'm locked in on. So for me, it helps slow the game down a little bit.
Yeah, your game's pretty much way more predicated off the starters, huh? When you come off the bench,
big time.
Like how are they playing that
You have
energy?
to know like how much you need to, if you need to force a shot sometimes, or you need to just get one up, or whatever. But you can kind of see what's happening based on what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Nice, man. Well, we really appreciate you coming on, dude. We means a lot for us. And dude, anytime, you're always welcome back on. We're gonna promote the TRoss. So you're on all the platforms. Then you got a YouTube also.
Yeah, man. We're on. You can check us out. The TRoss Podcast. It's on all platforms. You can check us out on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple, or iTunes. So check us out, man.
Appreciate you, bro. You're welcome on anytime,
Appreciate
man.
you, bro.
Thanks, Terrence.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
I just want to talk, give me the throat, please. It's only been a year, you don't know me. And I'm screaming R.I.P. to Kobe. Oh, he's a lefty, kinda like Ginobili. That was last year, you don't know me. That was last year, that's the old me. Witching, shorty wanna curse. Can you get my dreams at the